Imagine waking up to the news that your entire investment, the one you poured your life savings into, has been declared completely worthless overnight. Not just a dip, not a market correction, but a total irreversible wipeout. This isn't a scene from a dystopian movie. This is the very real and tragically common nightmare for thousands of people who dive into dinar investments without understanding the first and most catastrophic mistake they are making, a mistake so fundamental it single-handedly dismantles any chance of success before they even begin. The single biggest error, the granddaddy of all dinar investment failures, is the fundamental misunderstanding of what you are actually buying. Most people are sold on the idea of the Iraqi dinar as a currency play, a simple bet that a nation with vast oil reserves will see its currency skyrocket in value, turning a few $100s into a fortune. This surface-level understanding is what traps investors. The reality is far more complex and less glamorous. You are not merely buying a piece of paper. You are making a high-stakes geopolitical bet on the stability, political will, and economic restructuring of an entire nation. The value of a currency is not determined by natural resources alone. It is a reflection of a country's central bank policies, its inflation rates, its political stability, its foreign relations, and the confidence the international financial community has in its governance. When you buy dinar, you are betting that Iraq will not only successfully navigate sectarian tensions and corruption, but also that it will choose to revalue its currency in a manner that benefits foreign speculators, which is an exceptionally rare and historically unlikely event for any country. Governments prioritize economic stability for their citizens, not creating millionaires abroad. This leads to the dangerous allure of misinformation. A simple online search will flood you with forums, YouTube channels, and gurus all preaching an imminent revaluation, or RV, backed by so-called insider information or bank wire confirmations. This ecosystem thrives on hope and confirmation bias, not on verifiable financial data from institutions like the International Monetary Fund or the Central Bank of Iraq itself. These sources will never tell you about the deliberate monetary policy of de-dollarization, where Iraq is trying to strengthen its own banking system and reduce its dependence on the US dollar, a process that is slow, internal, and not designed to cause a speculative spike for foreign holders of its currency. They won't explain the sheer volume of physical dinar in circulation, a mass so large that any significant revaluation would create instant trillionaires within Iraq and cause economic chaos, something no sane government would ever permit. The promise of life-changing wealth is a powerful drug, and it clouds the judgment of otherwise rational people, making them ignore the basic principles of economics that have held true for centuries. There is no central bank in the world that would willingly orchestrate a hyper-inflationary event for its own economy just to reward foreign speculators. Understanding this, internalizing that you are betting on a political miracle rather than a sound financial asset, is the critical first step. Without this clarity, every other decision you make will be built on a foundation of sand, leading you directly into the next devastating mistake, which is how you even go about acquiring this asset in the first place. If this first point has you rethinking everything you thought you knew about the dinar, then you absolutely cannot afford to miss the next mistake, which deals with the very real and immediate danger of how and where you buy your currency. This is where the theoretical risk becomes a tangible financial loss. So make sure you like this video and subscribe right now, because what I'm about to reveal about the currency dealer trap will save you not just potential future heartache, but actual hard-earned cash today. So, you've understood the monumental geopolitical gamble you're taking with the dinar, and you've decided to proceed with eyes wide open. You think you're being cautious, you're doing your research, and you're ready to make your purchase. This is the precise moment where most investors walk directly into the second, most financially draining mistake of the entire process, the deceptive and predatory world of unregulated currency dealers. This isn't just about paying a small fee. This is about a business model built on exploiting your hope for profit, a model designed to separate you from as much of your money as possible before you even hold the physical currency in your hands. The primary mechanism of this exploitation is the massive and hidden spread, or markup, that these dealers charge. When you look up the official interbank exchange rate for the Iraqi dinar, you will see a number that represents the value at which major financial institutions trade the currency amongst themselves in trillion-dollar transactions. A currency dealer, however, does not give you this rate. They add a significant premium, often ranging from 20% to a staggering 100% or more above the official rate. This means you could be paying double the actual value for a stack of banknotes. Think about that for a second. Say your investment is underwater by 50% the second the dinar lands in your mailbox. For your purchase to even break even, the currency doesn't just need to increase in value, it needs to double in value just for you to get back to your starting point, a feat that is virtually impossible in the currency markets outside of a hyperinflationary collapse, which would itself render the currency worthless. This spread is their primary profit engine, and it's often buried in fine print or presented in a confusing manner to make the deal seem more attractive than it is. But the pitfalls don't end there. Many of these dealers engage in aggressively upsold premium services, pushing you to buy special, sealed, certified packages of DAR notes at an even higher premium, claiming they are guaranteed to be accepted by banks upon revaluation. The truth is, a banknote is a banknote. A central bank will not distinguish between a note from a fancy kit and one that isn't. They will only care if it is genuine and part of the current series in circulation. This certification is a marketing gimmick, pure and simple, designed to extract more money from you for zero additional benefit or security. Then comes the issue of liquidity, or rather, the complete lack thereof. These dealers are very happy to sell you the dinar, but what they rarely, if ever, provide is a clear, guaranteed, and cost-effective buyback program. If you ever decide you want to exit your position and sell your dinar back, you will find the process incredibly difficult. The same dealer that sold it to you at a 50% markup will likely only offer to buy it back from you at a 50% discount to the official rate, if they offer to buy it back at all. You are essentially trapped. The traditional foreign exchange market, the one that facilitates trillions in daily volume, is not open to you for these speculative physical currency trades. Your only potential buyer is another hopeful speculator, and finding one willing to pay you a fair price is nearly impossible. This creates a devastating liquidity crisis for you, turning your investment into a collectible item of questionable value rather than a tradable financial instrument. You are left holding a physical asset that is incredibly hard to convert back into spendable US dollars without accepting a massive loss. This combination of exorbitant markups, deceptive premium offerings, and a complete lack of an exit strategy makes the dealer network a minefield that systematically drains your capital before the geopolitical bet you've made has any chance, however remote, playing out. But even if you navigate this dealer trap, there is a third, more insidious mistake that lurks in the shadows of your own portfolio. A mistake that has nothing to do with Iraq and everything to do with you. To understand the final critical error, hit that like button if you're finding this valuable, and stay tuned, because the third mistake is the one that protects your entire financial future, not just your dinar speculation. You've now navigated the intellectual hurdle of understanding the dinar as a geopolitical gamble, not a surefire investment. You've somehow managed to find a semi-reputable dealer and avoided the very worst of the predatory markup schemes. And now you have a stack of Iraqi banknotes sitting in your safe. You feel like you've been smart, you've been cautious, and you've done your due diligence. This feeling of accomplishment, however, is the very gateway to the third and most personally devastating mistake of all, a mistake that has bankrupted families and shattered retirement dreams, the complete and utter failure of proper position sizing and portfolio allocation. This is not a dinar-specific problem, it is a universal principle of sound investing, but it is one the dinar speculators violate more flagrantly than almost any other group. The siren song of life, changing wealth, is so powerful that it convinces otherwise rational people to bet the farm, to pour a significant portion, if not all, of their net worth into this single, highly speculative and incredibly illiquid asset. They cash out their 401 test, they remortgage their homes, they drain their children's college funds, all based on forum posts and guru predictions of an imminent revaluation. They are putting all their financial eggs in one incredibly fragile, high-risk basket and then handing that basket to a political situation halfway across the world that they have zero control over. This is the absolute antithesis of investing. It is gambling of the highest order. Proper financial planning dictates that any speculative, high-risk asset should constitute only a tiny, non-essential portion of your overall portfolio. Often financial advisors suggest no more than 5% or 10% for your entire collection of high-risk play money investments. This means if you have a 100,000 portfolio, total allocation to all your speculative ventures combined should be 5,000 to 10,000. For something as risky and unproven as the Iraqi dinar, a more realistic allocation would be 1% or 2%, a sum of money you are psychologically prepared to lose completely. This is the core concept of risk capital, money whose total loss would not impact your standard of living, your ability to pay your mortgage, or your retirement security. When you invest more than that, you are no longer investing, you are betting your financial future on a single, unpredictable outcome. The emotional toll of this miscalculation is immense. Every piece of news from Iraq, every rumor, every delay becomes a source of intense stress and anxiety because your entire livelihood is tied to it. You become emotionally married to the investment, unable to think objectively, and increasingly susceptible to confirmation bias, seeking out only the information that supports your desperate hope for a positive outcome. This psychological trap prevents you from ever cutting your losses or making rational decisions. It transforms you from an investor into a hostage of your own poor decision. A well-balanced portfolio, on the other hand, is built on diversification, spreading your capital across different asset classes like domestic stocks, international stocks, bonds, and real estate, all of which have long-term, historically proven track records of growth. This diversification acts as a shock absorber. When one asset class is down, another may be up, ensuring your entire financial future isn't wiped out by a single bad bet. The Iraqi Dinar offers no such historical track record of success for retail speculators, pays no dividends, generates no interest, and provides no cash flow. It is a dormant, speculative asset that relies entirely on a single, low-probability event for its success. By over-allocating to it, you are not only taking a massive risk, but you are also forgoing the proven compounding growth you could be earning in a diversified portfolio. The opportunity cost of having a large portion of your capital locked away in a non-performing, illiquid asset for years or even decades is staggering. That money could have been working for you in the stock market, in a small business, or in your own education. Protecting your wealth is not about hitting a single 1,000-to-1 jackpot. It is about the disciplined, steady accumulation of assets over time through proven principles. Avoiding these three mistakes, understanding the true nature of the bet, navigating the predatory dealer landscape, and most importantly, never risking more than a tiny fraction of your capital, is the only way to approach the Iraqi Dinar without jeopardizing your financial well-being. It transforms a potentially devastating gamble into a calculated, small-scale speculation where the potential loss is contained and manageable. So let this be your ultimate takeaway. True financial freedom doesn't come from a secret tip on a currency revaluation. It comes from the boring, disciplined, and powerful practice of diversification, risk management, and investing in assets that have a proven history of creating real long-term wealth. If this deep dive into the top 3 dinar investment mistakes has opened your eyes, then your journey towards smarter financial decisions has only just begun. The absolute best thing you can do for your financial health right now is to commit to your own financial education. Don't let this be the last video you watch on investing. We have a full playlist dedicated to building wealth the right way, from the basics of index fund investing to understanding how to properly diversify your portfolio, all based on timeless principles, not speculative rumors. That playlist is curated right here on this channel, so smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single piece of valuable, actionable content. And now, I want to hear from you. What was the biggest shocker for you in this video? Was it the reality of the dealer markups, the danger of over-allocation, the fundamental misunderstanding of the investment itself? Let me know in the comments below. I rate every single one, and the discussion we have there helps everyone learn together. And if you know someone who is thinking about investing in the dinar or any other similar speculative currency, do them a massive favor and share this video with them. You might just save them from a devastating financial mistake. Thank you for watching, and remember, the most powerful investment you can ever make is in your own financial literacy.